Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this the news beat presented to you by Ladies Like. Follow the beat from the studio to the street. Info with the flow keeps you sharp and in the know. Sit back, relax, enjoy the news. Follow. Ghana's been at the forefront of technological advancement, and in 1992, it was the first African country to launch a mobile network on the African continent. It was also one of the first African countries to be connected to the internet. On the 7th of July this year, Ghana reached yet another technological milestone when it launched its first satellite in space from the International Space Station. The satellite called GhanaSat-1 was developed by 3 students at All Nations University, which is a local institution in Koforidua, a southern Ghanaian city. The 3 young engineers are Benjamin Bosu, Joseph Kwansa, and Ernest Tayemate. The student engineers designed, assembled and tested the satellite at their College of Residence and received support from Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. Work on the satellite, which began in October 2015, was completed within 2 years, and the cost of the project was $500,000. The 1,000-gram satellite has cameras on it, capable of taking pictures of Ghana from the orbit. The satellite will be used to monitor the country's coastline for mapping purposes and to build capacity in space technology and other sciences.
Have you ever carried a full jerrycan of water on your head? You might want to use a border instead. Ugandan women in remote villages are daily challenged by long distances. They have to walk on dusty roads while carrying heavy loads. Jimmy Onyango from a village in Nakapidipiditi, he witnessed the problem and decided to do something about it. The engineering student at Lugogo Vocational School is an innovator at heart, and he designed a cart that can carry cargo far, together with his brother Ben Lokeris, also a mechanical engineer. They build carts from aluminium pipes, and those light weights can transport cargo of all sorts. All you need is a border to ride the cart around, and luckily in each village there is a border to be found. Their first cart contains a 500-liter water tank, which addresses the problem of head-loaded jerrycans. This new way of water transportation can provide farms with irrigation. Other carts are bed-shaped, a means of transport that can be vital when transferring people from remote areas to hospitals. Coming up are mobile shops and mobile kitchens for vendors on the move, who go from market to market with their goods and food. The innovators from Nakapidipiditi will go a long way with their invention, and the Uganda Industrial Research Institute is incubating it for commercial production. If any innovators are watching currently, you too can make a change with your idea. The government set 43 billion shillings aside, to which innovators can apply. All you need to do is register with the Uganda Industrial Research Institute. The next innovation in Uganda might come from you. I'm Jay Sentino, reporting for Newsbeat.
Hey, MC Loy, why you dressed like a man?
I applied for a job and I was told I was the wrong gender. Then I got this idea. It might sound insane, but let me tell you about Uncle Hussein. Before that, she was Philly Hussein, born in Tanzania, daughter of a livestock keeper. Her demanding duty was taking care of the stock. To make matters worse, she was married off to an abusive husband. Having had enough, she ran away with nothing but her courage. In search for a job, she found herself in the small town of Mererani. With no education, her only option was to become a miner for Tanzanite. While no woman was allowed to work there, that was not going to stop her. She cut trousers in 2 shots and walked in full of might. And the final touch was to change her name, Uncle Hussein. She walked 600 meters underground without fear, even when many of the men were unwilling. So no one suspected her, and she succeeded. After a year, she uncovered 2 big Tanzanite stones, enough to build homes for her family and employ miners to work for her. Today, Philly owns her own mining company with 70 employees, 3 women included. She pays school fees for 30 family members. Philly remarried and is educating her daughter to provide her with a future of opportunity. It took courage and confidence to do what Philly did, not gender. I'm MC Loy, reporting for Newsbeat.
Japan has been shifting its focus from superfast trains to luxury trains since it launched its first luxury train, the Cruise Train 7 Stars, in 2013. The luxury trains offer a prime view of the Asian country's rich natural scenery as the passengers travel in ultimate comfort and luxury. The train suit Shikishima, which is believed to be the world's most luxurious train to date, was launched on May 1st this year by the Japanese train conglomerate. The train's journey begins at Tokyo's Uno Station, which was built exclusively for the Dallas transportation. The train suit Shikishima is made up of 10 cars, with 4 dedicated to lounge, dining and viewing areas, and the remaining 6 hosting 17 lavish rooms for a minimum of 34 passengers. Passengers can also get off the train on its route during the adventure to explore local areas and visit historic places like Nikko Toshogu Shrine in Tochigi Prefecture, or discover the local crafts and food of each region's unique culture. The menu is also changed to reflect each region that is being crossed by the luxury transporter. It costs $3,000 up to $10,000 for a trip of a lifetime, but prospective passengers have to fill out a form online to enter a lottery for future trips on the luxury train, as the train to Shikishima has been booked out till March 2018. That was the news on the beat. Next week will be another hit. Still ladies like reporting live and direct with love and respect. Follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat.
Yes, follow the beat.
Follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat.